Buddhism is a world religion founded by the Buddha in ancient India. Buddhists seek wisdom, meaning, inner peace, and freedom from greed, hatred, and ignorance. Mutually sustaining life, a Buddhist call to a troubled world.
Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of that one candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared.
Hi, I hope we find you in good health and good spirits after a meaningful week. Today we are pleased to have with us a guest representing the Korean Buddhist tradition. In my recent visits to Korea, I have been impressed by the vitality of Buddhism. For example, I visited a huge hospital newly built by Dongguk University, one of the major Buddhist universities in Korea. The mission of the hospital is to integrate the latest Western medical methods with the wisdom of Eastern medicine, in which patients are cared for and supported by Buddhist spiritual counseling. The hospital even has a hall for conducting funerals. I haven't seen this in any other country that I've visited. However, this should not be so surprising if we take seriously the Buddhist teaching that both birth and death are natural elements of life. Now it's time to present our guest today, Venerable Sok Ojing. His name means the thunder of awakening, and he is a member of Chogyejong, the largest school of Buddhism in Korea. Well, welcome to our show, and thank you very much for joining us. Let me begin by asking, how old were you when you were ordained as a monk?
I became ordained when I was 13 years old, Haeinsa Buddhist monastery.
Isn't Haeinsa Buddhist monastery famous for its woodblock prints of the Buddhist canon or the sacred books? I actually have visited the monastery, which is located way up in the mountains. I was so impressed by the thousands of these huge woodblock prints stored in buildings that must have covered at least half an acre. I understand the wood blocks are about 1,000 years old?
Yes, they are. They are a national treasure. They have also made a great contribution to the spreading of Buddhism. And the scripture printed with these blocks greatly influenced the study of Buddhism in Japan and in other countries.
Yes, and I certainly agree. Actually, we don't hear enough about Korean Buddhism and the vital role that it's played and continues to play today. I was personally impressed by the energy and the vitality of the monks and nuns I have met. And if you don't mind, I would like to ask you some personal questions. You said that you were ordained at the age of 13. Isn't that very young, and didn't your parents object?
Yes, they did object, especially because my family was a strong Confucian family.
Oh, I see.
My family taught me to read the sacred Confucian text from a very young age. My father was especially against my becoming a monk. To become a monk means to leave one's family and society. This is one of the worst things you can do as a Confucian.
I see. So didn't your father try to stop you from becoming a Buddhist monk?
Yes, he tried, especially because I was the oldest son.
I see.
But I had made up my mind. In fact, my father came to the temple to take me back home. But I refused the first time. Then he came back the second time, begging me to return. But I told him, Father, you can come to see me as a lay Buddhist, but not as my father. My father went home in tears and never returned to the temple. I felt very bad, but my mind was made up.
I can understand that. So you must have been strongly attracted to Buddhism.
Even as a child, especially liked going to the temple.
But usually that alone doesn't lead someone to go so far as to become a monk. What other points attracted you to Buddhism?
I really like the teaching of compassion. And there are two meanings to compassion. The first meaning is to care about all living beings. As you know, in Buddhism, living beings include insects, fish, birds, animals, and all non-human creatures. Of course, people are included, but we also think about other than human beings as well. The second meaning is to respect all individuals because each person is sacred. In Buddhism, each person has Buddha nature, which is the potential to become a Buddha. We respect each person as a future Buddha. That is one of the reasons why the Buddhist greet each other by putting their palms together as a show or receptive to the other person.
So to show respect for other people.
Yes.
So were there any events in your life when your Buddhist value was especially tested?
Yes, there have been many, but the one that I recall the most was during the Vietnam War. In Korea, we have a draft system, even for monks. So I ended up being sent to Vietnam.
I see, in Vietnam. So it must have been hard for you to become a soldier.
Of course, I felt a big conflict between being a soldier and practicing compassion.
So you had a conflict between. Okay.
Yeah.
Did that conflict come up in Vietnam?
Yes, often. But one experience that I recalled the most was when I was serving in the general headquarters with the officers. One late evening, we got a call for help from a group of soldiers who were surrounded by the enemy. There was a little weak call. It could because it was in the middle of the night, giving us a way to reach them.
I see. So what happened?
Well, it was so painful to learn in the morning that almost everyone was killed. At a meeting that afternoon, an officer said that at least the soldiers killed were not officers. I could not believe what I had heard. I told him that life is equally precious, whether it was the life of a soldier or one officer. Demanded one approach.
You demand an apology.
Apology.
I see.
His attitude went completely against the teaching of the compassion, and the very teaching that attracted me to Buddhism.
You know, our recent programs have dealt with the Eightfold Noble Path. Can you comment on that?
All of the eight are important to put into practice, but they don't have any real meaning without compassion, as the source and motivation for practicing them.
So, if we are motivated by compassion, then how about the aim of practicing the Eightfold Path?
It's the same. We practice it not because we want to be morally right, but because we want to become more compassionate.
I see. Well, very well put. I also believe that the heart of Buddhism is compassion. I think that you have exemplified that by how you have led your life and by your actions, of which we got a small glimpse. Before we wrap up, I would like to ask you to do us the honor of demonstrating a short chanting in Korean.
Yes. Namu samanda mutana mavaraji adusa nanam danya taung kagaye gaye om barang bara para bara 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 tita ita iri dire vadu vadu andiga iri sabanga bo heang jino om sambara sambara vibana 르마자 그라라 목을 지는 모롱으로 사양을 깨서방아 원이 자공덕보 그보일체아 등녀 증세 탕생극낙국 동견무량수 쾌공 성불도.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you joining us for today's show. In my view, Venerable Sok Ojing exemplifies the candle that shares the light and happiness through his practice of compassion, as found in today's opening passage. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of that one candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Well, we're glad you joined us. Be sure to watch the show next week when we explore the topic of right action in our daily lives. May you have a meaningful and enjoyable week.
We at Bukkyo Dendo Kyokai pursue peace and happiness for people around the world. We have published the Buddhist teachings into 41 languages and donated our publication to hotels and other facilities in 55 countries. We would like to share the Buddhist teachings with people around the world. That's our mission. Visit our website for more information.